Okay, what's up guys? This is the Kyoshi. I know I haven't finished a Dark Souls 1 Let's Play, but it's being a right batch. So I can't actually finish it unfortunately. And yeah, it's been ages. I've been playing, as you can see, the sequel. I'm gonna start a Let's Play of this and then hopefully get this finished, or while I'm going through this, if Dark Souls 1 decides to start working again, I'll finish that off. Just to show you, I do have 4 characters, so I do kind of know what I'm doing. But, we're going to start a new game. I'm going to be a sorcerer for this. I've already had a hexer, but I'm going to play a sorcery dedicated character for this one.
Perhaps you...
Yeah, I'm going to be skipping cinematics and whatnot, because frankly, I could not care for them. But yeah, I have a new headset from when I did the Dark Souls Let's Play, so if anything ends up weird on it, can't really do much about it. I've tried fiddling with settings, so fingers crossed it's working as it should be. Just to say before I start, although this is going to be, like I said, a sorcery dedicated character, I am going to be making use of 30 dex and 30 strength. And yeah, this is going to be the rebirth of Bob. Those of you that watched my first Let's Play will remember Bob was the cleric. Well, because this is set like ages in the future, or something like that, I don't know. Basically, this is going to be Bob's descendant. Yeah, that sounds like absolute crap. Yeah, we're going to go for the healing wares because, with this, which is different from the first one, yeah, I should mention it first, I'm going to be doing this like my first, like Dark Souls 1, as a beginner's guide. So basically, I'm going to be going through doing all the stupid stuff to basically show you what you can do and like the general things that you would need to be able to do somewhat well. Because I'm not going to lie, I'm not a pro player at this. I get my ass handed to me so often. So yeah. But this is one of the things that's different from the first one. You can pick to start with a gift. So you can either just take nothing if you want to, like, basically, I don't know. I don't see why you wouldn't want to take something. You can get a life ring, but you get one later on anyway, so it becomes pointless to take that. Human effigy, which is the new way to become human. It's a dedicated resource for that. Or you can use it to, I think, make it harder for people to connect to your world, but I never use it for that, and it's not really worth it. Healing wares I see as one of the most useful things to take, because you get additional life gems, poison moss, and obviously and some upgraded versions, which is like, if you don't have the Estus, you can use that. Homeward Bone, same principle as 1. Seed of a Tree of Giants is more for oh, yeah, I'll explain anyway. Basically, if you use it when you've got an invader in your world, if you don't anger the enemies, they can end up going after him instead, which can be quite funny. Bonfire Aesthetic, basically, it'll make the area you're in as if you're in the next cycle. Yeah, this one, unless you're gonna farm, might have a low drop rate or like a phantom or something, you're not really gonna use that. And these you can give to the new version of, oh, who was it? I think it was Snuggly the Crow. Basically, this is the highest rating one. You get different ones. You get a small white and silky stone, something like that. You get a normal one, and then you get the petrified something, you give it to them and you have a high chance of getting good stuff. I'm going to take the healing wares because, I mean, you don't really want to see me die. I've got an even number of both male and female, so we'll make this, well, it's going to be the reincarnation of Bob, innit? So of course I'm going to make it as, well, Bob. Yeah, I know I'm going to be a sorcerer, but for the purpose of this bit, I'm going to make him a deprived, so that, see what his body shape would be. Go for that. It's a sorcerer, so he wouldn't really be beefy. Maybe leave the homeland, because I do quite like this, the default one. We're going to change his hair though, because for God's sakes, that's just awful. Oh God, no. God. See, I like that you can customize characters in this game, but for God's sakes, give the characters something that actually looks decent. And yeah, we're not gonna, I can't actually remember what Bob's hair colour was, but we're actually gonna go with that one. I quite like that. So yeah. Yeah, I know, I'm spending a lot of time on the character customization. Screw you. I actually want to look from, okay, that's not the, okay, there's the same colour. Yeah, I don't quite know why I'm giving him the beard. I don't know. Oh God, no. Let's go for that. Why not? If we're gonna do it, we do it properly. Advanced, I like him like that. So, yeah. Here is Bob 2.0, I guess you'd call it. So yeah, we'll get that done.
All people come here for the same
Yeah,
reason.
these guys... Oh, alright. I'll just briefly explain these. These three keys, or key items, are for the DLC areas. We will not be touching them until after, obviously, after we've actually gone through the main story. Because, as I've already done them on other characters, I can safely say they're evil. Literally evil. But yeah, we don't start with much. But like I was saying, these three are actually firekeepers. But I don't know, firekeepers don't really play as much of a role in this one. I've not really noticed that they do. Where I'm going now is just a little pathway, and yeah, small, smooth and silky stone. That's what you give to, cannot actually remember what name they've given them yet, but there's actually two of the buggers now, and they do sound rather annoying. But yeah, that gives you a chance at that gives you a low chance for anything good. You usually just get, infusion items, which we'll talk about that when we actually get to the point. Yeah, this guy, unless you're ranged or have very, very big confidence levels, I would not try to take him down. The main reason I'm doing so, more so than anything else, is I actually want to test a theory. Because obviously we know that like melee weapons can deal poise damage. Don't actually know if spells can, but what we got off him was the stone ring, which basically does additional reduction of enemy poise. So you hit them, you deal more poise damage. It's basically just something to have, just to see if it works. And also gold pine resin, because now having a free way of putting a secondary damage on a weapon is always a good idea. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is for that area. I don't recall there being anything worthwhile other than that. That and the fact that it gives us some early souls, which is always a nice thing. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Yeah, you meant to actually break that to get to it, but I guess I don't know if you want to call that a bug or just being jammy. Being jammy is basically, well, the way I look at sort of when I say being jammy is basically you've done something that, by all accounts, should not have been possible. So for example, say you manage to dodge an attack that's supposed to be unblockable, and you dodge it by like a hair's breadth. I don't know. But yeah. This video, because I spent a lot of time at the start, I'm probably only going to go up to the first boss. First boss the way I'm going to go, because I've noticed with with the last video I was able to do for Dark Souls 1, if you didn't watch it, I mentioned after you've placed the Lord Vessel, it's sort of the first point where you really get sort of a choice of where you go. With Dark Souls 2, you've got that choice to a degree right from the get-go. What I mean by that is you can because you've still got to get 4 souls to progress, but the way this game's done it is you have to get them to be able to go through a door to continue, and then at that point it follows a linear path. But the way I'm gonna go, I'm actually gonna do all the stuff up front first. Okay, here we go. These are the... There we go. So these are the ones that want this stuff. And you want to use the leave option, otherwise it throws a hissy fit and... Yeah, okay, Fire Drake. So that's... The Fire Drake Stone is used for fire, so it's essentially Vamos in this. All weapon infusions are done by one character in this game, so that's somewhat good, but to be able to get to him can be a real pain in the ass. If I didn't mention it already, Dark Souls Syndrome, like I mentioned in the last video of the Dark Souls playthrough I was able to do. Yeah, that's set in, so I'm basically not really gonna care about my language at this point. There is a way to drop down here. Yeah. Yes, I know I have low health, and dropping is probably not the smartest idea. But there's stuff down here that is very useful early on for a caster. You might not... Oh, actually, I didn't know you got the Morning Star there. Huh. Can I actually wield that just now? No. How much would I need for it? I know you need at least about, what, 75% of it? I've got 3 strength. Yeah, I got no chance of wielding that one. But yeah. Yeah, so the binoculars is what I was on about. Now you might not think they'll be useful, but oh, I'll use this as an example. That rock there, even if I turn the camera, I hit the same spot, don't I? As you can tell. Put the binoculars on, you can actually aim where you want it to go. So even if technically you can't lock on to a person, you can actually hit them outside of your normal range. It is quite a good little trick. I say trick because it is actually making use of a mechanic in the game. But yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, this is, from what I understand, the last Firekeeper. So she is sort of, get my words mixed up. Basically, in this game, I think it's similar to how Demon Souls worked. I've not had the pleasure of playing Demon Souls yet, though. But you actually have to go to her to level up. So you can't just level up wherever you want. And oh yeah, another thing for if you've come from Dark Souls, you don't actually get a lot of Estus Flask uses right at the start. You have to find shards to then use her services to improve it. that one there is the first one you can find, which I would always suggest finding.
Oh yeah. So,
Oh.
you smell wonderful.
Really? Why did these not have to back row? Yeah, these pigs,
Nothing suited you. Well,
I don't actually know if they are pigs or not, but they're... If you can avoid... I mean, they're not hard to kill. They're just ridiculously annoying to try and get rid of. But generally, if you can avoid aggroing them at any point, just to do that. But yeah. What was I going to say? This is the resident blacksmith. Start of the game, he's locked out, which I find somewhat amusing. I'm not gonna lie, I do find it quite funny that he's managed to get locked out. But yeah, other than what I found, there's not really anything else I can think of. So, oh yeah, another thing. I'm gonna be saying a lot of stuff at once about changes, but if I get it out of the way in this episode, then it'll be good. But yeah, you don't actually get shields that you can use right away. All shields require a minimum strength now to wield. So, and you don't just get given one right at the start. You have to actually either buy or find one. Generally speaking, for the first part of this one, you can generally go through it without a shield, so long as you are just sort of that extra bit careful. I mean, granted the fact that I've got range on my side, being a sorcerer, that helps. But even as a melee class, or if you choose to use melee only, even with a character like this, you're not really going to be that out of luck. Yeah. So this is the first area we're going to go to, Forest of Fallen Giants. Yeah, dagger is OP in this game. I mean, it's weak as hell as a standard weapon, but if you can get a backstab off with it, you're going to be sitting pretty, because it will deal a lot of critical damage, as you saw from that poor sword there. You see, a heavy attack doesn't even do that much, but then get a backstab off on these guys and forget about it. Yeah, I'm gonna use sorcery on the stronger. Okay, guess I'm gonna hit the weaker one as well. Yeah, considering I was getting a bit overrun then, kind of wanted to get rid of them as quickly as I could. So I made use of obviously my sorcery. Yeah, now I'm hitting him close range. Yeah. Oh, bandage knife. Can I use that? No. I think the bandage knife does more damage, but I don't actually think it has as high a critical hit chance, like critical hit damage, as the dagger. This guy might look dead. He's not. Yeah. It's quite annoying. This game is very good at hiding its enemies. So basically the only dead bodies you should trust on the floor are the ones that have no armor whatsoever on them. See a body that has armor on it, just make sure it is actually dead. Okay. Yeah. It's not this game isn't exactly forgiving from the get-go. But then, would you really play this game for it to be forgiving? Incredible. I may or may not have just screwed myself with this positioning. Hello. Yeah, life gems are going to be your main form of healing in this game. At least until you get a lot of this. I just realised I didn't actually craft the shard onto the thingamajig. Oh joy. That's probably could have done with doing so. Oh well. We'll get... Oh, crying out loud. Yeah, this bit I really don't like because you can be trying to do stuff down here and you'll just have like Flippy Longstocking up there trying to shoot you. But yeah, these ones here, these bodies you see, are the ones you can trust not to be like stealthy killers. Yeah. Don't actually know how long this video's lasted already. We'll kill the first boss and then be done with it. I am actually going to, I say cheat. It's not really cheating. I'm just not going to be bothered to go through an entire area if I can find a homeward bone. I'm actually going to trigger one of the NPC summons for the first fight because annoyingly at the time of recording this, a maintenance thing is happening, so online isn't actually available at the moment. Thankfully though, with an NPC summon and obviously being a ranged character, the first boss isn't overly difficult. You just sort of have to be aware of what he can do. But yeah. So cleared all that out, got ourselves a short sword in the process, which we can't... Wow, we can't actually make use of that at all, can we? But yeah. That is the Hide Knight. Can drop decent weapons and armor. I think the armor they drop mainly in New Game Plus and onwards. But each of the ones you find, yeah, he was hiding as a undead, or as a dead enemy. Yeah, they have decent weapons they can drop in sort of any cycle, but trying to kill them can prove quite challenging. So I'm not going to risk it. I'll probably come back later to kill him though, because the sword he drops, although being a sorcery dedicated won't be as useful, it'll still be pretty useful. Yeah, that probably doesn't make sense. Okay, these guys. These guys and the other ones are a good example of how Dark Souls plays. The first dudes are aggressive, sort of somewhat aggressive, but then immediately the second group you find are just, they'll tear your face off as soon as they can. Arguably that's one thing I don't like how they've done Dark Souls 2. Damn it. Well, that's somewhat embarrassing to have died first that quickly, but oh well. But yeah, one of the things they've done is they've upped the difficulty of it in what could best be described as an artificial manner. Like all they've done is make the enemies more aggressive, really. I mean, don't get me wrong, with some enemies it's not really as noticeable. Actually, it's but then you find other enemies and it's easier to notice the change when you go from New Game to New Game Plus. So a lot of enemies do just get more aggressive. They'll get more health obviously, but they don't... The only other thing that happens is that they get more aggressive. And I don't know, it just feels like they've not... Some enemies, it feels like they haven't really tried. I mean, don't get me wrong, with some enemies, they've just knocked the ball out of the park with it, because it's pretty easy to get overrun and get killed. Kind of like what happened with me there. Although that was more so because I was being greedy. Yeah, what I'm doing now is the definition of stupid. Because I have very little health, and I'm basically just running to try and get my souls back. So, what I just did, for the love of God, please don't do it if you're a beginner. If you know what the heck you're doing, then I basically have no input on that, because you're probably better at it than me. Yeah, you grab that and he throws his here. But, yeah, just get rid of him as soon as you can. Okay, they're not actually going to climb up the ladder. That's interesting. But, yeah. So here's what I mean. Buckler needs 7 strength and 13 dex to actually wield it. So you can't just automatically use a shield. Although one change that some people moaned about, while others haven't, is the fact that you can just warp between bonfires no matter what. Okay, this lady, Merchant Hag Melentia? I don't know. I've never remembered her name. But yeah, she sells... Well, for one, she sells the ring that Lenigras needs to open up his door. And she also sells another item, which is quite an interesting thing they did with this game. Yeah, sure. She also sells a Pharaoh's Lockstone, which open up contraptions. They're quite interesting because you don't really know what's going to happen with them. Like, a lot of them will open up doors, but then others can end up sort of triggering events, either good or bad. One area which I'm not going to say the name of because I don't really want to spoil it, but it'll set a light which it'll cause a vast majority of enemies to actually run out of sight. Yeah, I don't actually see the point in keeping the poise ring on. Yeah, we're going to take that off because it's not doing anything. Yeah, although it works to get it and we don't even use it. Yeah. Okay, getting that firebomb is actually quite good, because I can actually show you a shortcut. Usually you would have to get one of these idiots to see him up there in the corner. You have to get him to do something. Okay, 2 firebombs, so we got 2 chances at it. But yeah. Get rid of him, hopefully by him killing us. Yeah, we're gonna use the one shot of that just so I don't die. But you see the barrels over there? They are flame barrels, and obviously fire and, well, gunpowder barrels I should say. And I don't think it needs a genius to tell you what happens when you mix gunpowder and fire. Now, I hate how this dude will aggro no matter what. It's just like his whole purpose is purely to get aggroed. So yeah, hopefully if this... Yeah, there we go. And this opens up to her. So yeah, that's quite good I think. Basically cut out quite a, not a big chunk of it, but you miss out enough that it's worth it. Now annoyingly I've not actually found the homeward bone I was hoping to find. Really hoping those lot haven't aggroed. But yeah. So we're gonna have to do this the old fashioned way.
Hello there. What?
Yeah. This is Pate. He's the dude that I want to trigger to obviously summon for the boss. He's basically the definition of an arse. Everything dangerous that you could try and get, he gets you to do. See, the gate just closed on me. So he obviously sits on his ass and doesn't get caught, while we end up getting caught. One thing I've noticed just with that, when you try and hit people with a bow, you do really crap. But when the AI tries to hit you with a bow, their arrows seem to freaking bullet time shit. Like they'll, I don't know really how to explain it. They will curve or they will fire at a different point than you would thought they would have, so that they'll actually hit you. And it's just sort of like, hang on. Like with the dude there. Come on. There we go. Yeah, this is precisely why I didn't want to do this area. Why I wanted the homeward bone, because I could just skip all this annoying thing out. But, oh well, we get souls out of it. Usually the only annoying enemies here are the shield wearing ones, because they turtle for like forever. They will just stay behind the shield and turtle. Although as a side point, I do actually get to show you this little, but I get the feeling, yeah. You see what I mean? When he stops running, instant turtle. Please don't come up behind me. Okay. So yeah, there you can get a sorcerer staff, even if you didn't start as a sorcerer. And you know, it's kind of redundant. If you're not going to play a sorcerer, why would you? But then again, you never know. It's a nice little thing they threw in there. But yeah, their arrows seem to go like in a perfect path for them, while yours can just go any which way and get you screwed. Yeah. Okay, that's the one thing I like about their AI. They'll either completely turtle or they'll run at you like an idiot, and I find it quite amusing. Yeah. In case you haven't realised, I jibber jabber about every little thing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be skipping people's dialogue because once you've heard it a few times you get tired of it. But basically the whole point of that was to get the White Sign Soapstone. To then be able to summon other people. Or, you know, to be able... No, that still sounds wrong. To be able to be summoned by other people. Okay, this bit, you want to go in, and then get out. Because there's about 3 of them in there, on the crossbows, that will try to murder you. And I kid you not, they are crack shots with those things. And now on the plus side for me, they don't have shields. I just realised I'm actually out of spells. Interesting. Please tell me that is all of them in here. Okay. Okay. Another example of shield. Granted, all you need is 6 strength for that, which we might go for, we might not go for, but anyway. Come down here, and this is a Pharos contraption, which you use the lockstone for. The reason I got that one specifically is because of this door here. I never remember which chest is which, but you just get both of them. And that's the reason why we go for this. Because it gives you the Chloranthy ring, which as we all know from, well, if you played Dark Souls 1, I don't know if it was actually in Demon Souls, but it gives you a stamina regen, which as a sorcerer, as we want to be firing off spells as much as possible, it's really useful. Now, I know I don't have the strength to wield this properly, but okay, never mind. Yeah, one of the things they did with this, besides the mimics you got in Dark Souls 1, some of these treasure chests will actually be booby trapped. You either get the poison mist or a arrow volley. I personally thought it was going to be the arrow volley, which is why I equipped the shield, even though I can't use it properly. The fact that it turned out to be just the smoke, the poison smoke, was beneficial, because usually even if you get hit by the first bit of it, so long as you roll out of the way, you're not going to get caught by the second bit and actually get poisoned. But even if we did get poisoned, we got the poison moss from the healing wares that we picked at the start, so we wouldn't have had to have worried. What did I actually get then? Oh yeah, I think I just got a large soul. Yeah, a lot of items I'll probably get and then forget to mention why I did it, but it's purely and simply because it's worth getting. Okay, this is actually something they added in that I can mention. They've added in items which allow you to get caster spells back. Oh shit. Yeah, these dudes. They're the definition of a walking tank, and don't actually like them because to deal with them can... No, crud, I really wish he went downstairs. Dealing with them can be a chore. As you can see, my spells do barely any damage. But yeah. I know it's going back a little bit with what I was saying, but while I'm trying to kill this dude, I'll explain. Basically, like I said before, with this build, I'm going to be going for 30 strength and dex, along with probably about 60 odd faith? Faith? Why did I say faith? I don't know. 60 odd intelligence. I think the soft cap is 50, but then there's a few spells that are around the 60 mark, and then there's like one or two that go above 60. But the main reason I'm going for 30 in each is because there's a lot of weapons that you can use that can actually be beneficial to a sorcerer. I think with the latest DLC, they actually added in quite a few items that benefit a sorcerer, which I'll be aiming to get. Okay, I'm not quite sure why he's not. Huh. Yeah. Anyway, and there are a lot of items that they can be used as weapons and as catalysts that they added. They added them in with multiple DLCs, and actually there's some standard items that you can get that do the same job, I think. I know there's 2 weapons that you can get that do that job for both miracles and actually for all 3, I think. But yeah, actually, do I really want to buy anything off her? Not really, I'd rather save it for the levels. Yeah, sorry, some things I'll end up saying that don't actually mean anything. I'll just be saying them out loud. But yeah, oh. Yeah, this is what I mean by the human effigies, because as it says there, it reverses your hollowing. You do kind of want to be, I think it's the word's frivolous, I believe, with them, because at the start it can be quite difficult to get human effigies. So if you can, I would try to save them as much as possible. Otherwise you can put yourself in quite a fix. But yeah. This is the whole purpose of getting the soapstone and talking to Pate, because then I can summon him. He's essentially my distraction. I won't lie. He's there purely and simply to get beat up instead of me. Yeah. I'm not... with his storyline, that's why I don't really like him. So I'll end up explaining that later on. But yeah. Last giant. When you first get into the room, always run straight forward, because he will run right over you, trying to snack you as you come through the door. Run straight forward and you miss that. And then usually whoever comes in the door second becomes his attention. Hence why we got mild-mannered Pate. Although once you do start doing enough damage to him, he does get pissy. Did I set the... okay, I did set the bonfire. Sorry. I completely forgot about that. But yeah, if you can do, obviously try and... yeah. The strategy for range is basically what I'm doing. But if you're going to fight him at close range, what you want to do is basically, you want to stay by his feet like the AI is doing, but then you basically only ever want to attack the leg that he's not stamping with. So yeah, there, he was stamping with his left leg, so you would go to his right leg, and then start attacking him. Then if he... okay, so there, he'd do his right leg, so you'd want to go to his left one, and yeah. But depending on how you do it, that boss fight can either be really difficult or really easy. You just have to be you just have to be careful with it. Yeah. So that's the first bit of Dark Souls 2. Why did I give him a beard? So I'm just realizing how he looks. I really don't know why I gave him a beard. Yeah. Oh hello. You got pissed. Fair enough. Yeah. What am I gonna do? Okay. The starting area, Majula, you can get a lot of NPCs to end up moving there. You have to exhaust their dialogue where they are. And like I did there, I just basically route through it. When we go back to Majula now, because I'm going to level up, we should actually see her there. Yeah, she's sitting over there. So now, whatever she sells, which a lot of it is mainly good for the beginning of the story, she will actually now just be here. So you can buy from her in a safe location. Once you open this, obviously once you sit at the bonfire, Lenigrast will start obviously banging away on his little anvil here. But that chest gives you a short bow, which is it's not the best weapon, but for early on, it's quite a useful item.
Is that a shard?
Yeah, whenever you have a shard, she'll have that dialogue. You just give her, yeah, you just do what I do, and you get an extra charge of it.
There. See, lest this.
Yeah. So, what are we going to level up? Well, we need to level up strength. Let's level up. Well, let's level up strength to 12. So in theory, that should allow us to use a fair bit of what we have. So let's see. Scratch all of that. So we can use the daggers still. We can't use the bandit's knife or the short. We can't use the short sword yet. What the? Alright. So yeah, we still can't use a lot of this, but we can make use of the shields. The one we're going to use is the large leather shield, because it has a 90 physical. And majority of enemies in this game at the start will only deal physical damage, they won't actually deal anything else. Yeah, I'll take the Morning Star. We can use the Morning Star now when we two-hand it, so it's not the best thing to take, but it's worth it. How is that? No, he's still sitting there. So yeah, we'll sit at the bonfire just to show what happens. So yeah, we'll go into here, and he's banging away happily now.
You, the name, and a man, not bone. Not a quick.
Yeah, he basically throws a hissy fit about you being in the way, and then he just sort of says to give you his equipment. Basically to either fix it, or upgrade it, or whatnot. But yeah, the Soul of the Last Giant, there's lore behind it and all that, but beginner's guide, no one cares. Since I'm going for a sorcery character, I'm actually going to use this now, because the item it gets isn't actually any use to us whatsoever. So I believe it creates an axe which requires about 50 strength, and since we're only going to go for a 30-30, it's not really worth it. So we're actually going to put 3 into Dex, and then I don't need one more for that. Fair enough. Put 1 into there, and then put 1 into Stamina. The way I'm going with this is, I'll just show you. You might wonder why I put this point into Endurance. It obviously increases how much stamina we can have overall. I usually, if it's going to be a melee character or something, or if it's going to be a character that will be using a lot of stamina, no, none of that's right, I apologise. Before, when I first started playing this, I only ever went up to 100 stamina. And then as I was leveling up characters and getting them to the point where I wanted them, I found that their level was still sort of like, I don't know, 120 to 30. And for no reason really, I started putting points into stamina again, and I noticed that I could obviously do a lot more, but then I had more options in battle. So usually I try and get to I don't know why I sat down there. I usually try and get to 100 stamina first before I really do anything else, and then voice went then, and then I'll probably start leveling everything else up, and then I'll finish off stamina. So yeah, that's sort of how I'm going to go with this. And yeah, obviously put the points into Dex, then now I can use the short sword without having to two-hand anything, which is quite nice. Still can't use the bow yet, but I don't know. I don't really know if I'm going to use that or not. Actually, before I forget, we'll equip that. Let's actually look at some of the equipment we got. So we've got the well, might as well put on those so we have a bit more armor. Let's have a look at what we've got here. So yeah, the only thing is, the chest piece you start with as a sorcerer, you can't actually get any more of the set for quite a bit. But for the purpose of this, I'm going to put on the Hollow Soldier armor, because it gives us a lot more physical sort of defense, while the robes give us more sort of magical defense. I'm just going to say spell defense. Basically, a lot of the time probably with this, I'm basically going to say like whether it's better for physical or spell defense. The Black Hollow Mage robe will be better for spells, while that's better for physical. The weight's quite a bit. The weight increase is quite bad. I don't know actually. I might actually, yeah, I'm probably going to stick with the Black Hollow Mage actually, looking at the weight. So yeah, this is, I think we'll end it here, because I don't know. I feel like I talked for too much at the start, so you end up wasting a bit of time. So we'll end it there. Once again, this is a beginner's guide. Probably going to end up being swearing involved a lot with it. So viewer discretion will be advised from here on out. It'll be in the comments of every video, but I just thought I'd say it here now. So yeah, you still get all the gestures. Do we actually have a? Yeah, we do. Alright, well, from me and Bob, that is it. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.